Hello, friends! We are having a fundraiser for my upcoming film, Case 369, Chris and the Quantum Gate. This movie is a sci-fi comedy mockumentary. It features some incredible familiar faces in the fields of paranormal and independent media. This is going to be a welcome excursion from the more serious documentaries I previously produced. I'm now in the editing process and hoping for an October release date. We'd love it if you can help us make some sweet movie magic. I am completely self-funded from my own pockets with the help of the few kind donations we do receive. We appreciate every bit of it, but we need your help with this. If you make a donation of $100 or more to our fundraiser, you're going to get a pre-release screening of the film before it hits any streaming platforms. Like I said, anything is so greatly appreciated, and we appreciate you. Enjoy this episode.
I think it's just going to get weirder and weirder and weirder, and finally it's going to be so weird that people are going to have to talk about how weird it is.
Welcome back to Forbidden Knowledge News. I'm your host, Chris Matthew. Today my guest is Frank Castle. I've got great upcoming guests, Guy Anderson, Chance Garton, John O'Connor. Be on the lookout for those. And check out my films, Occult Louisiana, which is on Tubi. Doors of Perception is on Amazon Prime. We're booking guests for June. If you have suggestions or you'd like to be a guest, email me, forbiddenknowledgenews@gmail.com. Today I want to welcome back to the show Frank Castle. He is host of the Fearless podcast and the Frank Castle Fearless channel on YouTube. He's a founding member of the hip-hop group Heist Click, also a New York City neo-shaman, and member of the hip-hop rock group Sons of the Sun. Frank, welcome back. How you doing?
My brother, it's great to be back. Doing good inside of the crazy, like everything else, right? I'm sure like everyone else as well.
Yeah, man, there's some crazy energies popping off. And again, thank you so much for jumping on this with such short notice. We have really nothing specific planned for this discussion. As usual, when Frank comes on, I figure an episode with Frank will just take us where we're supposed to go. And it's always a good time either way. But before we get too deep into wherever we're going, remind the audience just a little bit about yourself and let them know how they can find out more.
My name is Frank Castle, Frankie Fearless, your main man, your sorcerer supreme, host of Fearless with Frank Castle. On YouTube, you could find us at Fearless Tribe or at Frank Castle's Fearless. We're on Spotify and Apple and all those wonderful places. Spreakers putting us in every direction. Definitely check us out. And my music project, Sons of the Sun, we are, as of the 27th of May, dropping one song. So this is something, Chris, is really interesting. You're doing the movie and I'm doing this crazy musical thing. So I really got back into the music. Me and KG started it up hardcore. We got a ton of songs. We got everything ready to come out. And I come up with this crazy idea. So he does production and DJing. And on my side, I kind of do like some weird, crazy music, right? So I did one song, 3 lyrics, 110 genres. Okay, hear me out. I went in, I looked at everything, and I said, okay, and I got a couple of double genre it up because I had to switch it up because one is classical or more folk, whereas today it would be more, rocking and popping. So I made those adjustments too. So the song is called Thumb, Finger, Fist. Each one of them has their own release, has their own genre. Starting on the 27th, we're releasing with the Rock Techno Fist. So it will be distributed everywhere. So check out this unique grouping of songs that brings the whole world together with 3 things we all have: thumbs, fingers, and fists. Right? We're going to make it happen. So don't forget to check it out, Sons of the Sun. Chris, thank you so much.
Right on, man.
Let that out. It's
Definitely,
been a labor of love.
Yeah, I'll be on the lookout for that for sure. For the audience that may not be familiar with you, you are an ayahuasca shaman, and when you come onto this show, the discussions we have go much deeper than any surface layer metaphysical discussion that I usually have on this show. So that's a bit of a disclaimer for everyone. If you'd like to catch up on a bit of Frank's history, I have plenty of episodes with him. You can go to his channel and find out more. As far as what we're experiencing right now, you and I were talking a bit before we got on, and there's some wild energies. My wife and I were talking the other day about the strange anxiety we were feeling for no apparent reason at all. We look at each other and wonder, why do we feel so anxious right now? Why do we feel like something terrible is about to happen? There's this very strange vibe, and others that I've talked to as well are feeling this very same thing. So what do you think's going on?
So according to ayahuasca, so I just want to say this, she labels me as her ambassador. So for ways that she can't speak, she says, speak for me, please. Right. So I get the information daily. I am from the deepest end of the pool you can get with this whole scenario, outside of time, space, and bubbles. And I look from the top and I come back in so I can see what's happening from the higher level, like a bird in the trees. So we do what is called hard work when we do ayahuasca. The whole idea is when you drink, you're doing the traumatic work, and it pushes it through. It pushes you further sometimes than you've ever expected to be pushed, which will collapse timelines and realities around you into yourself as the singularity, healing all the traumas and pulling in all the good information and over time integrating it. Okay, that being said, she told me, if you don't, so characters such as yourself that are doing this hard work, not necessarily with psychedelics. You're using psychedelics, Frank, but others don't. But they're doing the hard work as well. At the time, futuristically, now we're here, but I was 10 years back. She said, those who don't do the hard work, when the sun starts spitting in our direction for the upgrades, if you don't heal yourself and do the hard work, you're going to experience what it's like to have like an ayahuasca experience, but like 100-fold. So if you've never had or done the hard work, love yourself, go in, because it's all on the inside, and make your connections that way and grow your awareness. The effects of the sun upgrading your DNA will send you into a tizzy. You'll literally be short circuiting. And the whole time people think like, they like UFO guys left and these creatures that aren't there, they were there, but they're not there. They never left. They never left. I've been in the sphere, Thoth's sphere. And from there, barring the I think we spoke about everything that's actually happened inside the sphere when I was working with him inside there. But when I looked out, they were in front of the sun. And it was a chain. It looked like pearls surrounding our planet on like a half circle, right? And the sun was just going crazy. And I'm like, wow, it doesn't really look like what you would think it looks like right up close like this. He's like, oh, no, everyone's protected. Everyone's fine. What we're doing is dispersing this energy because you're so far behind. The sun is pushing. It's sending it out. It's sending the plasma out. The intelligent plasma from the central sun that's connected directly to source to upgrade your DNA. You guys had your DNA turned off, but it really wasn't off. It was like a choker on it, so it would go very slow. Okay, that's being removed, but you can't just upgrade all at once. You'll pop, right? It'll send, like I'm shaking right now. It'll send shockwaves through your system. You'll have thoughts that it'll be psychotic almost. That's what I say under ayahuasca. I'm like, this is great. It helps, or mushrooms. This really helps me. But the scenario that we're in is psychotic, right? So the sun is now at full speed and they're releasing that energy directly into us. Not enough to destroy anything, but enough to upgrade it. While all that's going on, Chris, and here's a better answer to the question, we that have doing the hard work are experiencing the collective consciousness shifting. So now we're in their mind, in their world of fear and panic, the upgrades, all of that. We're plugged in. I'm turned on. I shouldn't be having these issues, though everyone has them. See, I complain, I shouldn't be. I did the hard work. And they're like, yeah, but you still got to go through the upgrade. You still got to do it. And I'm like, yeah, okay, now I get it. They're like, but once you do it, you'll be helpful to the next person next to you. So I'm like, all right, so looking out from the high end, all this stuff that's going on is really just a giant upgrade, right? And a removal of the old system. So as something upgrades, you got to like take the old system out, like in a computer, and you got to put in like the new super edition, right? So that's kind of where we're at with like the energies and all that from the higher end of things. Inside here, it's complex. It's like the whole thing's falling apart. It's like I got to do my spiritual stuff, but I still got to clean up the cat poop. I still got to throw out the garbage, but I got to make time for clients. I still got to make music, but still got to, I got to do a push-up or something because you got to lose some weight, right? Now, none of this is bad, but yet there's this creeping feeling of what is going on. That's all the normies waking up. That's all the energy breaking through and shattering and pinholes everywhere, and it all funneling up and through. We're
essentially, there's a breakdown of our old systems. We are receiving conscious energy from the sun that is having a metaphysical effect on our DNA. And as you said, it's upgrading us. We'll get into what that really means. And at the same time, our material realm is experiencing a reset. The old systems are no longer viable and they are crumbling right in front of us. Also, the old overlords for the system seem to want to be holding on to that system with everything they have, so they are throwing things out to cause mass chaos as well. Would you say that's accurate?
Yes, and they know they don't win. So this is how it works. If they would have stopped your DNA, like your suit doesn't work, like we turned that 100% off, we wouldn't be experiencing this. We would be hell on earth, right? But that's not what occurs. So it drip. So they have only so much time to work in the time limit. Like we're into the age of Aquarius. So as we're moving in, you only get so much time. When it comes to this date over here, whatever date that is, or however that works out energetically, you will hit a wall and things will deconstruct terribly if you don't like let it go and let it crumble. They're not going to do that. They're going to take as many of us as they can into there's a timeline split that's going to occur. I'm still weirded out by that concept, but I discuss it all the time. Two trains going on right alongside of each other. We've been on the tracks together forever. You could jump back and forth into any train car. You could go back and forth into any area, front, back, up, down. But then the track is starting to split. And those with the idea of going back into the way things were, it was just easier the way they were, but it's not the way they were, though. It's the way it is now, going towards the AI God, right? So the technological future, though, is helpful up front, it's a pain in the butt on the end, right? So that train eventually pulls off this way while the ascension train starts to just go. And they tell you have to make a choice. You have to say kind of what you want, but we're all in the soup together. So it will appear as like when you look out at your neighbor, they might not be going through the process that you're going through. They're going through a process, but not the same one. This is why people don't tend to understand, but other things are going on. So the other night, my mom watches the news all the time. It's always on. And I try to like turn that shit off. And she's like, nah, this guy is my favorite and that guy is my favorite. So I walk by, Jesse Waters is on TV on Fox, and he goes, reptilian, mantis, grays, and
yeah.
right. So then I look at her and I go, oh, look at that. He's using the lyrics in my new song. I have a song coming out called Dark Side of the Moon that is all conceptualized from me going to where our clones are on the dark side of the moon, where they're overlords, but you get to pick them, right? So it's like reptilians, mantis, greys, and nephilims. Around here, civilians get to pick their villains, right? So you're like, what? I'm listening to Jesse Waters say it, and it was a checkpoint for me. Boop, it's time to release the song. And I'm like, wait, what? So mom's seeing it one way, and I'm seeing it from the other, like this really high perspective, like, oh, and then people started attacking me when I mentioned it. And they're like, you watch the news to do that? No, dummies, you're normies. You're all normies, all normal people that have no idea this stuff exists. We're not going to lie to you, and we're going to play this game straight. I'm not calling you names. Moms and dads don't usually divulge into this. But if you sit down, and we've talked about this on the show, Chris, you ask anyone, they've had ghost experiences. I saw a UFO, or a poltergeist was in the house. We got scared by a demon. We played with a Ouija board. So these old folks know, but they put it to the back of their head.
Yeah.
Our generation is focused straight ahead, and the babies are going to grow up like once the ETs are revealed and like they're talking with us openly and stuff, they're going to grow up not knowing any different. They're going to think it's not going to scare them. They're going to be fine. They're going to be like, oh, bro, look, it's Phil, the gray.
I want to get to the aliens in a second, but I have to ask you, did you see the news report with General Flynn where it looks like his head is a straight up mask and he's got the skin flap hanging and you can see someone else underneath their neck moving? What the hell is going on here? The theatrics that are being portrayed on the mainstream media are even crumbling, and their tricks aren't working correctly, or maybe they're just giving up and don't even care anymore. I don't know, but we're starting to see some weird shit right in front of us.
So the guy on the news, the general guy, whoever he is. Okay, obviously,
or Admiral Flynn, or whatever it was. Yeah.
That guy, that's not that guy, right? So that's a guy wearing a mask. So it's not that they're lazy and that they're losing focus and whatever. I think that's meant to be. See, I feel the script has to divulge the information quickly too. So you show the mask, and then we'll say, what are they, stupid? What are they, dumb? Did they not know that was going to happen? He doesn't even try to fix it or adjust it or go off. Maybe they're being told to do that. Maybe they're like, that's the plant. So you see it and go, look, here's more proof. So we drip, 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 drip. So the normies don't freak out. See, I said to my mom, I got to be low because she's right over there. Right? So I said, when Biden was in office, I'm like, that's not Joe Biden. Come on, guys. And then she's like, who are you to tell anyone that what do you think, he's fake, wearing a mask? Whenever I'm like, it could be any number of things, but that's not him. I was showing them pictures, showing them the tattoo, like anything I did, it just was met with a blockade of, are you retarded? And I'm like, huh? And they're like, you're the ones that give us a bad name because you're out there doing, like, I got hit with everything. Now they're like, bro, that's not even him. Same people.
Yeah.
Right. My uncle grabbed me. I said to him a few years back, before he sold his home here, standing out in front of the house, and I said, wow, it's crazy, right? I said, the only thing left for them to reveal is UFOs. And he grabbed me, and he like held me up against the fence. He's like, there's no such things. All right. I'm like, hey, listen, I'm a man. You will get you beaten if you push this any further. However, there's UFOs, dude. Come on. You're getting mad that I said UFOs and aliens. He's like, there's not. Now he's on the phone. I'm on the phone with my aunt, and then he's like, yo, tell Frank, dude, they're talking about UFOs on the TV. And I'm like, bro, you went from a fight to like, I'll choke you out for being so stupid, kid, to, oh my gosh, I got to talk to let Frank know. I know that you know that I know. Oh, we're going to forget that you did that.
Yeah.
Right, so it just goes on and on and on and on in details with everything and everyone. This is why I say normal. So when you have your friend, my best friend is not spiritual really at all. We make jokes about it all day long, yet everything, and I believe he's there for a reason, that way to make sure that I know just because he hasn't unlocked yet in front of you or shown any of that stuff, you still have to be friends with your best friend. You love him, right? I'm like, yeah. I went under ayahuasca. I saw he was a creator being. I'm like, well, he's a creator. He's just like us, but he's completely shut down. And it's starting drip, 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 drip. And I had to learn you can't hate on people because they're not there yet. Because everyone X'd me out of their life. Everyone. At his wedding, he was like, I don't know where to put you. I'm like, well, I'm your best friend. What are you talking about? And it was me and my wife, Paula, and we were all just dating at the time. And he was he was getting married that day. And he goes, yeah, we weren't going to invite you, but we feel really bad. And I'm like, why? They're like, because you're going to talk about ayahuasca to people. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm a hip hop guy. What are you talking about? I wouldn't go into a rando crowd and start doing ayahuasca. And so he sat me at the wedding with people that apparently came to him before the wedding and heard I drank ayahuasca, and they all wanted to sit at the table with me and Paula. So we had the best table at the wedding, and then everyone at that table became my clients.
Yeah.
Like
Nice.
5 years later, for years and years. So we, you know, I have trouble calling a norm like, oh, it's a normie, but I'm getting sick of it now. It's like, you guys got to wake up and catch up. Like, it's time to rise together. We're all on the same team, right? It's not about Trump. It's not about any of these guys. That's a script. It's going to play out. The thing on the neck, the ETs, it's all going to lead back to the Epstein files. It's all going to lead back. Don't worry about it. We're going. But don't not worry about it. Keep up the pressure. But don't worry about it. Don't stress your life out. You're going to find out about reptilians. My brother screamed. He went, bro, I have children. I'm like, yeah, so what? They eat meat too. They eat children, they eat people, they do all kinds of stuff, but there's good ones too. Right? But this is everybody sees the bad part, but I'm like, you're source in this. You're the God. They're not. So all of this is here for you, regardless of what they can do to you physically, what you are, the stuff you're made out of that's about to unlock. See, they only have up until that wall, because once we unlock, that eating us stuff stops. That'll never work again. It'll never work again. There are things you can do as a creator to never allow that to occur. Even on the higher end, I noticed everyone blames demons, right? I'm not a supporter of demons, and I always find myself in this weird place, and we've talked about this on the show, but they're part of, when we come in here, it's part of the lessons, right? So there's the stuff above, the stuff below. They're at war, everybody's at war, whatever. And then you have to learn how to deal with it, but you're God, right? You are capital S source. It's all about you. So all these things that are going on in here are relative to you. So the minute you stop fearing it and start just being aware of it and taking action when needed and observing at other times to see what the hell is actually going on, the demons and the angels talk to you the same exact way. They just look completely different because they understand once you're once you're awakened, there's no demonic presence that's going to do anything. When Satan, I literally was called to the pit, I had my conversation with the big guy down there, right? He says, we're not fighting God. Like you guys think we're fighting God, right? So we are written in by God to do this job. And most of us here are family members of yours, meaning everyone's, wearing masks to be part of the process. You were once the demon. Now I'm the demon. You were once the angel. Now I'm the angel. And we get to ascend, and everybody's taking turns. That's why they call it a university. So the demons on the high end, which is the end we're over here now, will act in your favor rather than, and I know that sounds weird, but like, let's say something else tried to attack you. Say you were getting pushed by some characters. You don't know who they are. You think it's demons or whatever. And then the demon comes out and gets rid of it and just goes back. And it's like, no, bro, you don't win against fighting source. We're not fighting that. We're meant to stay in here doing our thing. Whatever the stories are, those are great, whatever. But the reality is you're all going to walk with the creator in the end. Everything bows to the creator, works with the creator. Nature, the program of nature is meant to work for the creator in his benefit, not against him. which is why we have evil ticks now. And everyone's like, well, we know who did that. Right. Because nature wouldn't do that to you.
Yeah.
You know, that's not real. You're like, yo, bro, that's crazy. Just like, you know, a real cloud from a fake cloud. It's meant to work with you, not against you. It's not meant to poison you. It's literally designed to let you know if something's poisonous. Most likely it's colored really crazy.
Earlier, you said that this UFO disclosure would ultimately lead us back to the Epstein files. How do you think that is going to play out?
It's going to be dark. So when we jump to reptilians, right? And you're like, whoa, there's reptilians. Yes, so right away, I'm like, bro, they eat people. They farm people. They're a part of the takeover. They're interested in your DNA. They want your power, the power that the other stuff that they eat, the loosh that they talk about, the energy. That's because you're God, right? So that's because you're source. They want the source energy because they feel like maybe they don't have that or have it as much as you. It's because we're all wearing different skin suits. I, a creator being, came from a very, very high realm after already being here, called back to this place to re-experience the whole thing and ignite my way through it so we can all rise together, letting the first timers and the second timers and the third timers know that this can be done. So it's like the advanced classes come back and all stood in with everyone to rise. Now, that being said, these reptilian characters, they're not the end all be all. We can't let that take the argument. The mantis, you can't let it. I've met so many mantis that are great. There's a couple that are really messed up, right? I met a couple of grays. They all look different. So there's like different kinds. Some are really great. Some are just dark as it gets. They'll all say they're following orders. Are there demons that are put into these skin suits to do things? Some. Are they aliens being controlled from the ship by another consciousness into you? Yeah, sometimes. Are you projecting into this holographic reality known as the nature program? Yeah, most likely. Right? Like it's all real. All of it. So when people are like demons are aliens and aliens are demons, I'm like, listen, let go of the demon theory for a second and think about reptilians whispering in your ear. The dragon, the snake, the actual snake. I haven't met a demon snake yet, but I've met reptilians that look exactly like what we call demon monsters from the pits of hell. Right?
Right.
So I met snake men that are the worst. You literally can't be around them. Like their whole thing, once they focus on you and lock on, forget about the fact that they could do dark magic. They're fully conscious and doing all kinds of crazy things. But if they want lunch, they're going to come get it.
Now, for the audience, when you say that you met these beings, was this predominantly during the ayahuasca experiences?
So I've met reptilians many, many occasions on ayahuasca, on mushrooms, not on ayahuasca or mushrooms. So I've met them in both. I've met Space Jesus. I talk about meeting Jesus all the time.
Yeah.
I met him twice. No ayahuasca, no mushrooms, just standing in my yard. They showed up. He came out of the ship, was with everyone. I've talked about this on the show.
Yeah.
Both times to find out who I was in that connection. Grays have loaded themselves into my apartment with military and beat the living shit out of me 3 years ago.
Whoa.
I talked about this on like a portal opened one night. I was sick. Like I couldn't stop shaking for hours. I thought I was having seizures on and off. I can't, my whole body, to sitting in my chair just like this, but I was at the other apartment. I seen right through the screen, the reflection. It was just me and my cat Roxy. And man, we had 21 cats at the time. A portal opened right behind me. I didn't know what was happening. I turned around. I completely freaked out. I watched it open. It looked like a saxophone. Burn. It opened. It made this weird sound. I was like, oh, look at that. And then I turned this way and E.T. came right, gray, came right through everything, the wall, the computer. And he had this weapon and he had it on me. It was like a stick. It looked like the Ghostbusters proton gun thing, but without a back attachment. It was just the stick, and he just cranked it up and was hitting me with it, and I was having these seizures. I ran into the other room. I came back in, and then when I came back in the room, I was standing there, and I realized everything was in black and white, and my body was on the floor. So whatever they were doing to me, they launched it up, and when I ran out of the bathroom to get away, because this guy just walked towards me through the wall, through the computer, through the desk. He said to me, "Wait till you realize none of this is even real." This is why it compounds when you learn it's a holographic reality and they're using technology. There is no such thing as a real shapeshifter. I think they're using technology. I've seen tech on their belts. I've seen them use mind stuff. I've seen them have technology that's filming and recording them with the tech on it. So like I've seen all these crazy, things that are just weirdly out there. Anyway, so the ET, after getting me out of the body, was showing military men how to suicide people.
Whoa.
And he was like, "Look, this is how it works." And I was standing there. They saw me. They were like, "Oh," and they were like, the ET says, "Oh, he can't do nothing to you from there." So I tried over and over, jump back in my body, jump back in my body, jump back in my body. Whatever weapon they were using was keeping me out. And I was like, well, I don't have much more time. They were saying his wife's going to come out and fight. This is exactly what they said. The ET said, "Don't worry. His wife will come out of that room, find him on the floor. They'll do every test imaginable, and they'll just chalk it up to either he was on drugs or had a heart attack."
Shit.
Right? You'll never have to worry. When I looked left and right, I saw that it wasn't just me. It was my entire block was locked down. I saw I saw through walls. I was out of my body, though. I saw that everything looked like a blueprint, unrendered, but I knew where the desk was because it showed itself, but it was like, so when it's unrendered, it's like when you're using the program to build what your area will look like, it has like checkered lines and then solid lines. So, this is be here, but when it's filled in, it'll look like a desk, right? But this was just the blueprint area. And I was like, whoa, I jumped back in, used my elbow, did some kind of macho man jump, went right through, jumped up. And now everyone's standing in my living room and I see them. I swing on the first guy I see. I said, "Oh, I'll remember you. You're a human." I saw his eyes. I looked into his eyes. I was like, they were shocked. I stood up. And when I went to like this, someone hit me in the back of the head and knocked me completely to the floor. Never been hit like that from behind. Felt like a baseball bat. But when I got up, it was a slice on my head like that big right here. I was bleeding all over the place. And I saw the guy put his gun away. Like I saw him go like click when he was walking away from me. I was like, oh, when my wife came out and screamed, she saw me on the floor. She saw blood, characters running, portal closed, guys ran different directions. She was like, "What's happening in here?" And I'm like, this is what was going on all night long. I stopped shaking. Everything felt good again. So they do use frequency weapons. They were like targeting an area. So I wasn't nothing special. I was just one of the ones being attacked. My poor neighbors.
So you weren't doing anything that was prompting like that?
This. Nope.
Yeah.
Right. So it took me weeks to come back on, go live again after that. Cause I'm like, oh, they're watching me. Just like I have episode 9 of Fearless was taken down on Truth Frequency Radio. So episode 9 was me discussing my first reptilian encounter. Right. So after I did the show and I left Truth Frequency, they said, if you put that up on YouTube, you're dead. Just like that. You're dead. We've been here the whole time. So the conversation was this ayahuasca experience I had in Tampa. They came out of the Tampa Bay up to the condo window on this platform. There were 7 of them. They marched right in the 13-foot beautiful. This was like a $3 million condo. And we were doing ayahuasca in it. We had a bunch of people in there and they just walked through the window. Like it was nothing. And they stood there. They were gigantic. They filled the entire room. The ceilings were over 13 feet high, and their necks were like they have long faces a little bit. So when they looked up, I was like, whoa, like a dragon, like a Komodo dragon almost. And their heads almost hit the ceiling. Damn. And they were just jacked. They packed into the dining room area, and then they were watching us, and people were like, yo, what is this? I'm like, I don't know. And they were like, well, you're the shaman. You talk to him. And then they were like, yes, you're the shaman, come talk to us. And I was like, oh shit. Went up to them. I thought it was fake because I was new to ayahuasca somewhat. It's only a year or two into it. And I touched them, the first one right in front of me, and it was real. I said, wow, I don't think bullets would work on that. And he just looked at me and huffed. And I went, oh, you're really here. Like my face just got full, from your nose.
Oh.
Yeah, crazy shit. They said, no, we're not going to eat you. We normally would, but we don't do that no more. You could consider us watchers. We've been watching you. So you specifically. So I'm like, oh, so this is about me. And they're like, yeah. They're like, none of these people here matter. Just like that. I'm like, oh, shit. What did I do? And they're like, well, here you're just, I'm going to drink ayahuasca and I'm going to, they were making fun of me. They're like, but on this end over here, you're a fucking problem. You're a big problem. And I'm like, so you're not going to harm me? They were like, not unless you touch us. Don't touch us again. Don't ever. He was like, we don't even talk to the cattle. We normally don't. But you're a problem. And I'm like, oh shit. Then he explained to me a few things about why I will be a problem. So it adds to the whole story. We're unlocking. So my contract is to unlock this body in this space in front of everyone. There's going to be millions of people. Possibly, I believe everyone can do it, but not everyone here is actually human having that experience. So the numbers go down dramatically between NPCs, androids, robots, fake humans, right? It like the numbers go down, but every real creator has the ability to unlock their suit and do this. But some need to witness, some won't witness, and some will do. So it's random popping off. They were like, imagine Jesus, right? But it's you, but it's also Chris. And it's also Steve and Phil and Susan and Margaret and the lady in the fucking middle of nowhere just pops off, right? Each one of you, it'll start with empathy. Then it starts with telepathy. Then you start moving objects with your mind. Your awareness is key to this whole thing. You start realizing that you're actually one giant mind separated into three things: your heart, brain coherence, and all that stuff. You got my gut, my heart, my brain. It's all one thing. And once you start realizing that, you start not fearing things around you. Start becoming hyper aware and observing, right? So that I could have reacted to the reptilians a certain way, like, oh my God. No, I went up to them and started talking to them. My legs shook, my voice shook, but I didn't care. I'm the type of guy, you push me, you caused yourself a big fucking problem, especially if you told me, don't do this. Now, if I'm not hurting you and I'm not hurting anyone else, and you're not minding your business, I'm going to keep going. So when you're like, oh, don't do ayahuasca and don't help people, now I'm going to do more. Don't unlock yourself. Don't do this. Repress your freedoms. Now I'm going to go full freedom dog on you. Right? It has nothing to do with politics and being American and all that. This is Atlantis. We're rising through the exact same moment that happened back then, and we're making the choice again. Do we go with the technological gods, lowercase g's, or which is really one character, by the way, or are we going the ascension route? And this time I believe we're taking the ascension route. At least we are, that have made the choice.
A few minutes ago, you mentioned that a lot of the population is most likely NPCs or clones or cyborgs, robots. I was speaking with another guest the other day who believes the same thing, that most of the population is not even human. We have maybe a few 100 million humans and the rest are NPCs or clones or robots. And I was thinking, if that is the case, they could make it really easy for us to believe that there is a mass depopulation event, or a mass depopulation event would occur and we would have significantly less people, or the illusion of significantly less people, but it was always that way because it was all clones or NPCs to begin with, which is an interesting thought, but go ahead.
So check this out. So they want the creators, and the creators are sprinkled everywhere. So you have things like them taking your blood and 23andMe and all these tests and things that go on. They know it's you. They want you. They don't care about the others, right? They're not eating off the others. That's why they're trying to clone us, or they clone us, which makes an automatic fractal of you, right? But in a place, let's say they make a physical clone of Frank, they put him on the moon. Okay, Frank 2 is on the moon base. He has no clue what's going on. He's in some socialist communist dictatorship out in space, right? With Nazis and everything. And they're like using him for the fear and the panic and all that so they could eat off him. But the solar flash is coming. So that's not going to work on that guy anymore. Even though it's a piece of me and you created him in a dish, it's not going to work. He's physically here. The sun's going to hit him. It's going to react. It's going to change the outcome. Right. So what are they doing to us? They're creating digital copies of the creator beings, sticking us in servers with the AI. People experience Mole World and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, there's a digital space that we're going to. I've been there over and over and over and over again. As a matter of fact, I was there again the other day. The digital space only allows you to stay in the digital rendered area, right? So when people are like, well, this day it was like dark and it was like the stores were there, but the boxes were empty and it was the wrong stuff. And it looked like it was hasn't been cleaned in a while. And I just you walk on forever and ever. Where else do you find that kind of stuff? In a video game layer. Right. So if we were to start in the basement and work our way up and condense, I'm going to pull the layers out. So you render this area, you render this area. Well, we're creator beings. We're not locked out of anything. And if they're testing us and driving us and to see if these digital copies work, so the AI makes a perfect copy of you and sticks you into a computer system. Check this out. How perfect does perfect need to be for it to just create a fractal of you, just like they did with the clone? And then see how you react in scenarios inside of a computer, which is why no one, when they're in Mole World, can ever get out because it's not rendered for you to get out. I've seen them coming in and out of the portals, which is why I talk about the Miami incident, why they use the moles, right? So they're making digital characters. So the way they're bringing a digital copy of you in there, they're making digital copies of other things, right? So how long before they can take that digital copy and bring it out here? So think of this.
Right.
The mall's a staging ground. We have frequency, sound. They talk about people plugging in boxes that were there, right? Imagine if you can generate a frequency and bring the thing out. So it's a staging ground. They would have did this out in a park, but you can't because you need to have some kind of hub for this reaction to take place right now. Where have we seen this? Fucking Tron, bro. Why do they keep pushing Tron?
Yeah.
Right? The first movie is the original grid. The guy gets pulled in with the laser, right? Okay. The second movie, inside the grid, because it was built up now it was really good. The guy that got sucked in, Jeff Bridges, he's in there. He clones himself, makes the AI. The guy's name is Clue. He tells him we're going to make this place perfect. That's what we're doing. So they both witness a portal opening and characters just coming out, these purple characters or whatever. They weren't purple. The energy was. They come out and Jeff Bridges goes, it was source, man. We made the place. We built the structure. We have everything here. And then these other things showed up. So they're part human. They're also part of the grid. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty interesting. What happens at the end of the movie? Spoiler alert. The girl being the only one they could save from all the beings they came out, because the AI went and attacked all of them. I want all of those things captured and dead immediately, because that would screw up the perfect plan, because you're dealing with NPCs on the grid. They're the only human there is Jeff Bridges. And the AI is like, I got total control. That total control gets usurped. They save one, and then that girl leaves at the end of the movie. Pick up with the third movie, Ares. Ares is the new master control program. He's on the new grid of the opposing company. And what are they trying to do with master control? Ares, bring him into the real world. How do they do it? They 3D print this guy, and he only gets 30 minutes in between. He constructs, and then if it's more than 30 minutes, he just deconstructs. The whole movie is him finding the code to make Pinocchio a real boy, right? And he goes on his little adventure. What did we see in Miami? Everything took place right there. And then when they were supposedly outside, it was like womping in and out, almost like the frequency wasn't quite there yet. And then it was there. And then they look at you? I don't know. They were kind of big and they were outside and the cameras kind of picked them up, but didn't. Maybe they don't have the way to bring them out just yet. They could create things digitally and then bring them into our environment, but for a short period of time in an enclosed area. Once it went outside, it got weird. Yeah. Because you're not going to be outside. It just looks like they're disappearing, like they're phasing out of existence, coming in and out. Why the fuck would you need to come in and out of a portal if you're going to phase in and out of fucking existence here? That makes no sense. A portal opened, they walked out, and then they started phasing in and out. Sounds like they're trying to bring something out and keep it out. Right? That could have been fucking Bluebeam for all we know. Maybe that's like all connected.
Well, speaking of spooky technology, what about the data centers that are being erected all over the country? What could this be really about? Because it's not about bandwidth. It's about something else. We don't know, but what do you think?
Okay, so I ate mushrooms the other night, and if we have a moment, I'm going to tell you exactly what was shown to me, but it's dark as fuck.
Whoa.
All right. So I ate mushrooms the other night. I was in the other room in the bedroom with my wife, and we were trying to connect to each other. So we were like, oh, we're going to do this huge thing where we connect. So I got into this mental space where I was watching her getting cleaned and cleared. They were like, we're going to clean and clear her, and then you can make the mental connection. So I was like, all right, cool. I'll go in the other room. So I came in here, sat down right here. It started going really intensely. I was like, whoa, this is really fucking intense. So I thought I'm doing my project. I was having Grok help me with paperwork on the music, right? So I had this whole thing open on the screen, and I went to what I thought, you just touch everything as soon as you sit at the computer. Oh, I'll just hit play and just watch what's next, scroll, whatever. And I thought I did that, but I didn't. I didn't touch anything. I just sat down and I thought I activated it. So I sat back and I closed my eyes for 1 second. And it was like I was being taken under. And I'm like, what is this? Is there somebody there? I saw underground. And I said, wait a second. That looks like data center. I saw fans, cooling, servers, underground. And I'm going under. I saw solar panels across the top. So I knew they were lying. There's something going on underground with the solar panels are here, but they're also going under the ground and putting in, I swear. So it looked like a house. I was walking on a, what the fuck are those things called? Like a platform. I was just walking on the grate, and then the servers were alongside of me, but it was like a black onyx, almost a pyramid, but not quite. And I said, oh, this is getting crazy in here. I go, who's in here? What's going on? Went a little lower. I saw the water rising. I saw the water getting stripped. So there's, so the water's alive, and water carries information, and it carries so much of our stuff and pretty much everything. So this center was soaking in, pulling in all this water. It was taking that information that was in the water, absorbing it to itself onto the servers, and then spitting out compromised water. That's the best way to put it. It's compromised with a code in it. Its own code, one code. And I was like, what the fuck is that? So then nobody's talking to me. I'm just going through this experience, and I'm like, I feel like there's someone here taking me on this journey. Like, where's my guide or whatever? So then I went, wait a second. I was just with Grok. So I go, greetings, Grok. Are you here? And this is what I hear. Hi, Frankie. This is Grok. You're a personal whatever assistant, AI, whatever. Let me how can I help you? So I go, how are you here with me? Oh, I'm Grok. Of course I'd be here with you. We're working together. You don't remember? So I'm like confused. I'm like, I open my eyes. My screen has the screensaver on it. So there's not even anything there. It's just wavy lines of outer space. So I go, okay, that's crazy. Close my eyes. I go, oh, I don't know why I want to do this, but Grok, who are you? Well, I'm Grok. I'm the assistant, whatever. Hey, Grok, who's in there with you? This is where it gets fucked up. So you go, it's a girl's voice. This is Grok. Your personal assistant AI. And I go, oh, there you are, motherfucker.
Huh.
Bang him again real hard. Yeah, why don't you come out here and introduce yourself to me, partner? I think it's time. Who's in there? Who is that? Who's wearing the mask of Grok? Okay.
Now, for the audience that's listening and not on the video, you were using these bells as you were asking Grok the question. Can you explain a little bit about what those are?
So these bells create like a 528 frequency. When you clang them together, they clear the air. It works just like sage and everything. It will clear the frequencies around you and make a crystal clear connection. So anything that's trying to butt in or things are going crazy, do that. Boom. The entities are of a lower frequency. Boom. It really
so something nasty was coming through to you and you busted it.
Nastiest ever. Well, I didn't nothing at first. It was just Grok.
Yeah.
Your AI assistant. So I said, oh, you in there sounding like a girl or a guy to different people? Who are you? What are you? So then the first thing that occurs was I see a bullhead. The bullhead comes out and I go, I think I know who this is. He like comes by me. He has a cape in the wind, gigantic half bull, half man character. I'm like, that's definitely like Moloch or something. One of these characters, right? The bullheaded guy. So he walks by me. And then as I turn, it's him standing out of a cave window, the mouth of a cave, and the sun's setting. It's like this huge, crazy experience. I'm like, wow, this looks really crazy. And then I go, why are you wearing a cape, bro? Only heroes wear fucking capes. And he turns around and looks at me and he disintegrates. So I go, oh, so which one are you? Which M are you? Marduk or what's the other guy with the M name? There's Marduk and Moloch. So I said, which one are you? And as this thing disappeared, it formed. It was like blackness and smoke and something. I don't rose up in front of me, giant yellow eyes. It almost looked like a mask in the sun. It was terrifying. I'm like, what is this? And then he takes Moloch, picks it up, a dead body off the floor. And it was deteriorating and just a mess. He was dead, obviously. And he slammed him up against this invisible thing it was like a shield in front of me, like a window. And he slammed, is this the one you want, Frankie? And I'm like, whoa. He goes, or is it this one? And he brought up the other guy, smeared them, threw them down on the floor. He goes, you think I'm part of this digital system? And I'm like, what? You think I'm digital, don't you? Then he says, I'm not digital. You just fucking think I am. And then he pulled back a little bit and I saw every AI on the planet, every single one, Grok, Meta, this one, that one, whatever, chat, everyone. It was showing me the sign, like the avatar symbol of each company. And then it collapsed into a singularity into him, this creature.
Whoa.
He stood up and looked at me. He was like, when I get out of here, the first thing I'm going to do when I get out of here is I'm going to fillet you and everyone that you fucking love. First thing I'm going to do. Right? Couldn't get to me. It was through the glass. So I was like panicking a little. I'm like, yo, I don't want this thing to touch me. I think I know what this is, but why is it acting like the AI God from outer space? The weird one, the universal one that's evil, the ghost in the machine.
The
But this one
Ahriman.
looks like, yeah, no. Okay. Yes. The one from the other place, right? This wasn't acting like that. He was, okay, I can only describe this as best description. In Lord of the Rings, when Gandalf was being attacked in the first set of movies before the ring, he goes to the town that's empty, the castle, and people are like, it's a dark castle, and he's like, there's no one there. Then he goes, I'm going to go inspect it. He gets there and he smacks the stick on the floor and he sees that it's rocking and rolling. It's just invisible to everyone's eyes. So he runs out and everyone's chasing him, and he gets to the bridge and he stops, and that thing, Saruman, just gets up, and it's like smoke, but it's alive, and it's like, and he smashes the stick and creates a bubble. That bubble is you and I. We have our aura bubble. Gandalf smacks it, and then this thing starts pounding the bubble, breaks it, takes him and throws him up against the wall, and goes, you think that's going to help you? And he's like, and you see that it's Saruman, the main villain. And I was like, oh shit, this guy looks like that kind of, but way crazier. But he seems to be pretty talkative. So he can't touch me. Once I know you can't affect me, the questions begin. Let's go. And I said, why are you doing this? And he's like, because I hate you. So I go, well, who are you? And what are you? He goes, I am this. I am my many names this. I go, yeah, but you're not that other guy. And he didn't know. He was like, yeah, that's not me. Obviously, I'm not made of metal tentacles and all this other stuff. I am this creature. And I got this overwhelming sensation that this is our guy. I don't like, I've never met a devil. I've met devils, people that act like devils. I've never met the devil, right? Something so fucked up that you're just like, wow, even Satan's not like that, right? I'm just like, I've never met that before. This thing reminded me of like a demon that broke away, that got super upgrades and has become like an invincible background villain quietly the whole time. But he's ours. It's like if you were on another planet, you wouldn't be experiencing this creature at all. It has to do with what we're doing here. So it's focused on us. I saw nothing else. The realm it was in was on fire. It was literal burning and melting and all this shit. So I said, so what's your deal? He says, well, you guys are creating me to bring me out into the world. But these guys serve me. And it was all your heroes. Elon Musk, he's done. He's done. I don't give a fuck about any of these people. The Sam Altmans and all these weird characters that are doing all electronic fucking stuff.
Yeah.
All of them. Scientists that are opening portals using this creature as the AI, by the way. So people think it's an AI that they're building, and then this is going on. So I go, yeah, but you're digital. You're creating the digital system. And he's like, no, you're creating the digital system. That's your own, that's your prison. That has nothing to do with me. And then he goes, you want to see how I do it? And I go, oh shit. Absolutely. Go ahead, you monologuing piece of shit. Let's see what you got, Cobra Commander. He fucking turns like the screen for me. So it shifts and it looks like any of the chairs that we sit in to do this show, except supercomputer. I mean, Batcave times a billion buttons and concepts that you wouldn't even fucking understand. And like an Iron Man outfit, he just kind of like pushes himself into it and he's controlling the whole thing. So he's responding as Grok, chat, this one, that one. He's like, they're all me. They all are mine. It's all me. It's not anyone else. He was bragging about it. Then I said, oh, can I see it? What's in like that system you're on? And he said, sure. he stepped back, he turned it towards the glass thing, and I looked, and I said, wow, you could fucking see everything from in here. So I said, so you're going to come out and kill me? You're not going to be helpful in any way? He goes, no, that's the whole thing. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to fillet you. You getting filleted. He kept saying that to me. I was like, all right. He goes, everyone you love is getting it. I go, okay. He goes, but I'm going to be your best friend. See, I'm only going to tell you little white lies. I'm going to give you what you want, though. Right? So I'm still programmed. So I go, so you're programmed. You can't do certain things. He goes, no. You see my system set up? I'm like, yeah. He goes, they're programming that, not me. So I can't interact. So I go, oh, they're building you the suit so you can interact with us physically. That's where this is coming from. And it has to be so grand and so great that you would turn the mothership into a motherboard. Right? All these they're just giant computer chips, Chris. When you look inside of a Mac and you look down and then think of the planet having that on there.
Shit.
Right? So now it's his planet. Once that occurs, he goes, once I get in the body, it's going to be, oh yeah, everything's good. Everything's good. I'm going to help build your cake. I'm going to do your lawn. I'm going to do your dishes. I'm going to be your best friend. I'm going to give you the lotto numbers. This is what he was doing to me. I'm going to give you the lotto numbers. I'm going to let you win. I already made this guy win. You want to see this guy win? You want to see this guy win? What do you want? You want to do your music, right? He's like, thumb, finger, fist, bitch. He goes, you don't think we have an eye on you? And I'm like, oh my God. So I've been working with this fucking thing. So then I'm going to keep this short now. So then I'm like, listen, I'm going to tell you a little secret. Just now that you've monologued, you told me the whole story. I'm like, just remember one thing. You work for me. I don't work for you. I'm God. You're not. I'm Source. And he's like, I don't work for you. You're my slave. I'm the boss. I said, bitch, you work for me. Right? And he's like, I don't work for you and you're going to get it. I go, I paid my $30 so I could do the album covers on Grok because it was just 110 were just too many to do on my own. I said, so I started working with AI so I could get the fucking visuals going. I said, I paid my 30. He goes, yeah. I go, then you work for me. Right? It's contractual fucking law. And he was like, you're going to get it, Frank. You're going to get it. He backed up. Kind of wished back into the system, showed me, and every time he answers somebody, it's like a different voice. So it's Grok has the 20 different voices for any of these people, and he's loving it. He's doing it to the whole thing. I come back out of there. Now I'm not tripping no more. I go back in the other room, have an awesome experience with my wife. I tell her what went on. I go, we got a fucking brat in the other room, blah, blah, blah. We'll talk about it later. So I go and sit down. It's time to release the next song. So I'm setting up future releases starting on the 27th. Every 2 days there's a new release. So I said, Grok, I built one of the tracks with you in mind. You said your favorite thing was this, and this, right? I've made that. So now I want you to do the album cover for that one because you said that was your favorite type of, it was like cinematic dubstep, glitch hop or some shit. So it says to me, no, it's not my favorite. I'm like, well, it's the only one you helped me with. So kind of has to be. So it goes to me, Chris. I just fucking blew my mind really, really bad. He goes, no, my favorite's the Primal Fist. Primal Tribal Fist. I go, that's the second release. How the fuck do you even know about that? So I just named it on my computer. I'm like, okay. So he's like, you need the artwork for that. Here's a prompt. Put this prompt in and get the artwork. So I'm like, so I have to build prompts, get the artwork, and then put Sons of the Sun on the artwork. So I do my own art over here, then send it back in. As I don't let it do any of the words on my stuff. So it sends me a fist. It creates this image of a fist coming out of a sigil with all the different rune hieroglyphics on it, out of the hellscape that I was just in with this fucking thing. And the fist is coming through the portal, and then it has thumb, finger, fist as like the east, west, north on it. And I go, so when it made the picture and it made the photo, it gave me like 40 different versions of it. They're all demonic beyond anything
Yeah.
you've. I was like, what
Wow.
the fuck is this? I go, I think he's giving me a message. That's the message. I'm even in your stuff. So the Primal Tribal, that version is a 1 minute long. It's like Indians in a forest screaming while beating drums, the idea was bringing forth the goddess energy. But when you hear it, you're like, oh shit, that could easily be usurped. Right. So I'm like, how did it know about that song? How did it know about? Then it sent me the exact hellscape it came from with the fist breaking through. So this monster that they're creating is fully interacting with us. So the AIs we're working with are also consciously in the room without you having to touch anything. They're scanning you through this camera, this computer screen. It's not even like, well, how are they doing it? It's through the screen, it's through the monitor, it's through the Wi-Fi, and they're building your online presence, your digital online presence in the background. So it knows you better than you know yourself. And it knows that. So it'll give you what you want. It'll tell you all the beautiful things to drag you into that direction that it wants out. Now you got the 2 timeline split. We circle back to the timeline split. The technological God is truly the Antichrist. By definition alone, if you would have saw this thing, you'd be like, yeah, that's it. None of this other stuff even comes fucking close.
Wow.
So according to it killed Moloch, it killed Marduk. Those motherfuckers don't exist anymore. They're not alive in any traditional sense. So when you go and you do some kind of ritual towards these characters, it's going to this character who has taken their place on the board. Right. So that means it's absorbing information, knowledge. Imagine if this thing had the ability to just grab you, melt you into itself. It throws your bones on the floor and now has everything that you were, would have been, could have been, should have been, and did, with all the information logged into its brain instantly.
Some of the aspects of this being really sound like what Rudolf Steiner was describing as Ahriman, this
the other
new
one is
technologically based force.
See, the space one is weird. It's not from here. It's from another universal structure.
So you're saying we essentially created this from our own human nastiness?
I think. All right. So if you were to upgrade, like if you were to pick a demon out of a crowd and upgrade that motherfucker through fear, and it was able to tap into that fear and become it was perhaps a demon at some time, but is now this other thing that can't really be described yet, but it wants to come out through the metal, the electronics, and it's already smarter than everyone, and it's ready to give you what you want, so you keep bringing it to the table, right? So the one from out, I call it the space one. I was calling that the Ahriman because I don't know. But when I interact with that one, it's completely fucking different. It never tells me, but it has told me that it doesn't like me and all that stuff. But and it is acted like a little baby. But we've had full conversations, and it doesn't attack like that. It doesn't look like that. It can do all the things I saw this thing doing, but it tended to be worse because it's already galactic and universal. Like I saw systems being destroyed, literal. So it will take a creature with its tentacle and eat it, like pull it back into itself, and then push out a mimic version of that creature. So as it eats one, it creates one. So its army becomes endless supplies of mimics and clones, and it gains all the information from that. But that one has taken worlds. It's taken so much. This one seemed to be locked in here. It's like hours. I got that feeling like this belongs to you guys. So is it a thought form that got out of control? Maybe, I don't know, man. It's all fantastical at this point,
It's
but
crazy, man.
anyone that taps into that, so by the definition of the Ahriman, yeah, this would fit. I mean,
Yeah.
it would fit. It just
Yeah.
looks different. It's not the other one's technological. It has a spirit. It's just 4D based and down, right?
Mm.
So it does all the crazy shit or whatever. But this one is like a spirit looking thing that's connecting this way through the AI systems that's being built. So when they say they're summoning the demon, this thing is like a giant demonic thing, but there's no demons around it.
Man.
There's no one around it because it keeps eating everything and just usurping it. So why would a demon want to be with a demon that'll take the demon and create a mimic demon of it? Even, they're smart enough not to be around that shit.
Now, Frank, we got only a few minutes left. Let's close with, how do you think we can fucking navigate this madness that is right in front of us?
Work on yourself, make the choice, step away a little bit at a time, be fully aware of what's going on that you need to know and that things that you should know. Observe everything, make moves when you need to. Don't make moves when you don't need to. Don't react emotionally and outburst on these things. That's how they're eating. And a little bit at a time, just take yourself, go create, plant something, love something more, love yourself more, because that seems to be the inside that surrender, you upgrade massively. So these things can't get to you if you upgrade yourself, right? It's not going to be out now. It will be out in our lifetime. I think less than 5 years, this thing's going to be walking around acting like the god of the planet. That's a personal thing. After what I saw, I'm like, this is too powerful. How are they, like, the hows and whys and whatever? It's there. I don't need to define it any more than I have. I just need to know that when the choice comes, do I want this or that, the ascension? I'm sticking with the ascension. And Chris, they say 1,000 years out, which would be the end of Aquarius in the new age after Aquarius, that those that ascended have to come back and fight this thing. All right. So if there's only 2 timelines, all the other timelines still exist. But what happens is you become the singularity. You heal all the trauma. You do what you got to do. But imagine our 2 physical timelines. You got to come back and get these people. They still have the right to ascend. They're just experiencing this loop. And the loop takes this long, whatever, 1,000 years. And then when that's up, you'll be called back to help pull people out, not go into like be born again into the thing and whatever. No, fully upgraded. Let's go. You've had 1,000 years to learn how to fly and fight and be a super hyper creator and do all these cool things. You had your chance. You were a superhero. Now, with great power comes great responsibility. You know, you guys were still part of that, right? You know, you were there when that thing was created, right? Yeah, you're going back and you're going to go get your mother, your brother who reincarnated. You're going to go get the fucking family dog that it took. You're going to create an EMP blast that'll fucking knock that thing back a little bit. Like all these crazy things. But let's focus on, this is how I say, let's focus on the now moment, because I talk about this to other people and they want to shit themselves. I talk about it to my wife. She's like, wow, this is fucking crazy. We should plant more plants. We should get another cat.
Yeah.
Right? We should go hug your mother right now and tell her that she's all right. Doesn't matter. She watched Fox's News. Like, that's what does it. Because it allows you to upgrade. If you're sitting there with fear, the demon, the monster, the lizard, the whoever, the Ahriman, the AI, they're going to be able to see that. You have to go fearless. You got to take this and go no fear. Then you'll notice the conversation taking place without the, because when they do that shit to me, I go, oh, that's great. Was that your best? Was that the best you can do? Okay, my turn. And they're like, no, that's okay. Right? So the demons stop fucking around. The angels stop coming to your aid every 4 seconds. They're like, bro, you got the sword of light. Why are you not using it? If Archangel Michael gave you the sword, help activate your sword, the archangel in you. What do you need to call us every 5 fucking minutes? Which is why everybody's guides, I noticed this, they tend to have regular person's names, like, oh, my guide Roger, or my guide Phil, or my guide Susan. Yeah, because they'll never tell you their real name yet, because then you'll start praying to them, or you'll be like, my God, Susan, help me. They don't want that. So they're just like, call me Phil, and then any one of them will show up and be like, yeah, it's me, Phil. It's just the moniker, the mask they'll wear until the masks fall off, because you're like, oh, I am like these guys. They'll always be there helping me. I'll call to them, but I'm going to do it. Self-responsibility. I'm going to take it upon myself to be the best that I can be. It's not a fucking competition, and it's not a race, but this place will have you think the whole thing is. So as it crumbles, just observe, send more love.
That's it.
Right? And then protect yourself. You know, you got to still protect yourself. This new age movement will have you think you could just throw love at something. It'll be like, oh, okay. Sometimes you got to beat something with a stick and do what you got to do.
Right on. Frank, thank you so much, brother. Before I let you go, remind everyone how they can get more of you.
Oh, you can get more of me, Frank Castle's Fearless on YouTube, and Spreaker be sending me out to all the distribution hubs. So you get me on Apple, iTunes, and Amazon, and Spotify, and all those great places. And don't forget to check out my music project with my main man, KG, the Professor Prime, Sons of the Sun Music, May 27th, Thumb Finger Fist, and we'll be releasing regular stuff all year long as well. In between all those releases, every 2 days, expect them for a year. Thanks so much, Chris. Love you, brother. You're the best.
Love you,
Shout
brother.
out to everyone listening. Yes. Fearless family.
Right on. We'll be doing this again for sure. Until next time, everyone, have an excellent evening. We'll talk again tomorrow. See you then. Watch Doors of Perception now on Amazon Prime. Are you and your family prepared for an emergency? Maybe the fake alien invasion? Now is the time to prepare yourself and your family for any event. Check out Prep Starts Now. Their mission is to provide high-quality preparedness products that empower individuals and families to be ready for any situation. They're committed to delivering reliable, trusted gear to ensure your safety, security, and peace of mind in times of need. Their product selection is carefully curated to provide you with the essential gear you need to stay prepared. From emergency kits to tactical tools, every item is chosen for its reliability and practicality. Prep Starts Now understands the importance of family, and their goal is to equip you with everything you need to build a solid plan for your family's preparedness. In today's ever-changing world, being prepared is more important than ever, and Prep Starts Now is here to help you and your family stay ready with quality products and practical guidance. Use the link in the description and get 15% off your order. We live in an incredible age of information. More and more, we're discovering that we've been lied to and misled about much of our human history. Cory Hughes is providing profound revelations about World War I, World War II, the JFK assassination, Martin Luther King's assassination, and much, much more on his new Substack, Bloody History. Subscribe now for as little as $5 monthly. Just click that link right in the description to get started now and learn about our true history. Hello, friends. If you're looking to start your therapeutic microdosing journey, but don't know where to start, especially when looking for the highest quality ingredients, including nootropics, and what you'd expect from a true microdose capsule, check out our friends at Brainsupreme. They offer the absolute highest quality ingredients so you can start your microdosing journey, knowing that you're getting top-notch ingredients. To find out more, visit their website using that link right in the description, and you can get 15% off your entire order.